What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back with another video on the channel. And as you can see today, it's sushi time. Now, if you're coming from the gram, a lot of you know that usually I do my sushi posts or meals on Sunday, but I wanted to switch it up this way I could have it on camera so you guys can, well, enjoy the sushi with me. Now, we have a lot of stuff to go through, as you can see. I'm going to try to describe things as I go. Probably be the best idea because honestly, I don't remember half of it because I kind of just start pressing select on the menu when it comes to ordering online, which is pretty bad. So I'm going to use a cheat sheet, which is my cell phone. This way I can not botch something because a lot of times I forget with the specialty rolls what exactly is in everything because truthfully, I don't care. I'm so excited. I love sushi. First, of course, we got to pour a drink today. The drink of choice will be the pink lemonade. Sugar-free, of course, inside of my wonderful coldest water bottle. This thing has been a godsend. I use it way too much, but I'm definitely getting my money's worth from it. If you would like one, I am doing a giveaway, which the link is in the description, or you can buy one yourself using my discount code, which is KingShrats, also in the description. I like it a lot. It's not just something that I'm plugging just to plug. I am actually a huge fan of it. But without further ado, let's get into some sushi. Where do I start? You know what? Let's get the soy sauce out. Because sushi is one of those things you gotta like prepare. You gotta make sure you got everything going. I got my soy in the back. I don't use a lot of soy, but I do use it from time to time. Just kind of like to get a switch up. One thing that I do, put the wasabi in. All right, so you gotta get the wasabi in the soy, and then you get a little stir, just a little bit. You kind of put it on the side and just kind of let it incorporate. This is what my dad used to tell me. So every time you use sushi, this is what you do. Take the soy, take the wasabi. So I still do it, even though I kind of went away from using it. I don't know what to eat first. You know what I'm gonna start with? This is my favorite roll from here. This place is called Sushi Cafe. It is in a town over from me. I actually did a YouTube episode where I ate an entire boat of sushi and a lot more. I'll leave a link in the description too. I won't put it up here because I forget. I do it every single time. But this bad boy right here, this is a double cheese roll. Now what's in the double cheese roll, I think I got this one. There is salmon, cream cheese, mozzarella cheese, or mozzarella. I know people like to get at me for my accent. Jalapenos, and then there's some scallions, and I believe there's eel sauce on the top. Whatever, look, just give me, I shouldn't even use the soy right there. First bite. I'm so excited for this. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I want to do one more of these. Raw dog. I gotta stop saying that. Just kidding here. Now to the next part. Did I just drop a sushi roll? I did. In our 5-second rule, we do. I'm gonna keep that right there. I'm still eating it. We don't waste sushi. This is assorted. This is just a sushi platter, so it's 10 assorted pieces of sushi. You can see this one. We'll grab this one here. So this is the shrimp. So we got the shrimp going. Now, you don't want to dip the rice in it because it soaks the rice. So I go upside down. So word to why. This is the true sushi. When you're getting sushi, this is actually sushi. Now, these are all specialty rolls that if you're going to like a real sushi place, it's more of like an Americanized thing that we do here, but I love them. So I'm never going away from them. This one right here, okay, this is vegan. This is the vegan one? Yes, this is. This is vegan. Don't drop on me. This is a mushroom roll. Completely vegan. I swear. Who'd have thunk it? But I love it. There's shiitake mushrooms with a little bit of, I got the sweet sauce. I forgot what they said they put in it, but man, is it good. Let me get you one more. Come here. Come here. Mushroom roll. Good roll for people to start with. And we'll talk about that don't eat sushi or haven't eaten sushi. But I got turned on to it at a pretty young age. These are my favorite right here. This is a spicy salmon roll. This is kind of like just the go. Every time I get sushi, I get 2 of these at the very least. And they are sitting right here in front of you. It's just the best flavors. That salmon with that spicy sauce. Oh my goodness. Now this one right here. This is the surf and turf roll. Now you can see there's a hole in it, right? That's because I forgot to ask for it without avocado. I really don't like avocado in my sushi. I really don't like avocado at all. I know it's a faux pas. People always tell me do not. Why don't you eat avocado? I'm sorry. It's just not for me. Okay? But it's got some nice ribeye going on the top. And there's different pieces of meat. This one actually looks like it's a whitefish. Could be yellowtail. I'm not sure. The lighting it's blinding me, so I can't really see anything. But I kind of ruined the roll a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So we're just gonna, because I had to perform surgery. I never like to perform surgery in my roll, but cheers. Never had surf and turf. Oh man, there's bulgogi on there, like Korean ribeye. Oh, that's so good. Oh man, hold on, one more. Come here. See me? I know a lot of y'all don't eat sushi either, do you? A lot of people tell me they don't eat sushi, but maybe it is a bit an acquired taste. I forgot to take my caps off on the sauces. This is cold. Shrimp dumpling, aka shumai. See what's going on. I don't even know what kind of sauce this is, to be honest. Oh my gosh, so good. You know the funny part is, I'm not doing any of this for the camera. When I eat this by myself, I tend to make the same noises, and you have it. You name it, I should say. Even if you don't eat sushi and you go to a sushi joint, a hibachi joint, get the dumplings. They have beef, they have pork, they have veggie. And the shumai is the shrimp dumpling is my favorite. I gotta get one more of these. It's so hard. They're light. And the shrimp it just melts in your mouth on the inside. I also got a nice order of shrimp tempura. I probably should have taken these caps off, but that's not how we do things. We just YOLO. Shrimp tempura. These are giant prawns, as you can see. Give me some sauce. Let's get in here. Let's come get some for me. The tempura's got that nice crunch to it. I'm sure you can hear it. Oh man. And a little bit of that sweet and salty from the soy. They add, I believe, sugar to the different mixes when you're doing it like tempura. It's not just straight up soy. Perfectly light fried. Tempura is a much better fry for me because it's lighter. It's not as heavy as using maybe panko or, of course, your traditional breadcrumbs, which we fry things more in America. But that is the rundown. As you can see, there's about 40 to 50 pieces of sushi on here. I ate a bunch of them already. I'm gonna get back to these double cheese rolls. Let's chat, let's vibe. I started eating sushi as a young kid. I'd say the first time I went to a sushi place was with my dad when we were, I'd say it was about maybe 12. Nobody judge me for this. I eat the ginger. I usually will lay it on some of my sushi rolls and then do that. It adds a crunch for people who don't like veggies, and it adds a different taste. I don't do it on all of them, just occasional. Where are you going? Hiding from me. Come here. Here. Let me go to the back. But yeah, I went to sushi restaurant. My dad when I was 12. He's like, "You want to get sushi?" I've never had anything resembling sushi. Of course, most people it's a turnoff. And raw fish. I get it. I completely get it. But he's like, "We'll start you off right." You know, my dad's usually pretty good with that kind of stuff. It's that surf and turf again. It's that surf and turf again. I do a happy dance right now. Oh, goodness. Hey, let's work from the front. He's like, "I got you." I'm so sorry. So we get to the sushi place, and he tells me I'm not eating sushi. And I'm like, "What? How am I supposed to like it?" He says, "You gotta use starter pack. Starter kit." So what does that mean? So the first sushi I started eating were rolls like this mushroom one. I got this, and I got a tempura shrimp roll, or tempura chicken. Spicy chicken roll was the exact one. And we would eat those once every other week. You know, father-son bonding kind of thing. My whole family eats sushi, but my sister, my father, and myself are like huge on it. And after time, I was like, let me try a spicy salmon. But by that time, it didn't matter what was in the roll. So I ate it all the same. Then eventually, it was, what about the sushi like this, you know? So I got the raw fish on the rice, like so. Now, you know, almost 20 years later, I'm just addicted. Oh my goodness. This is my favorite though. I love specialty crazy rolls like this when it comes to sushi. Obviously, traditionally, they wouldn't put mozzarella. I have to try to un-New Jersey it before I get slaughtered by you guys, which is all good, but it's so good and different. Now, I love fusion stuff. I've said this before a million times. But when you're mixing different cuisines, when you're adding different things to whatever roll or even pizza, you know. Yesterday I made jerk chicken Alfredo. No Italian person in the world. In fact, I posted it on here and on Instagram, my two main social media platforms, and every time I do, there's always an Italian person that says something in Italian, and since I understand Spanish well, Italian's very similar. I know what they're saying. And it's usually like, that's gross, this is disgusting, that pasta's I get it. I am not a traditionalist. I love fusion. Like, whoever said we're gonna make giant rolled up burritos and put things like french fries in them or crispy chicken in them, I'm here for you. And since we are in a country, the United States, which is extremely diverse, it's only natural. I remember as a child, I have family in Georgia, so we would go down there every once in a while to visit our family in the South. Let me get one more of these right here. And in the food court at the mall down there, let me try with this one. That's the one. This the one. Let me take this. Let me take it right here. That's the one. It's sweeter. I like a little sweet. This might be a first. I actually screwed up. I usually don't edit these videos. But I forgot my edamame. It's sitting on my counter. And I need my edamame. This is about the time I start digging into my edamame. So, for the first time in King Strat's Mukbang history, I'm going to have to pause this video. And I'm going to go get my edamame. Because I need it. And I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. I'll now show you a magic trick as somehow I'm magically made edamame appear. I had to get it. I love edamame, and it's one of the things in the middle of my meal that I start to kind of nosh on a little bit. Did I just say nosh? Yo, who am I, man? I don't even know where I get these words from. I have like 3 different types of talking, to be perfectly honest. But this is edamame. Now, I have seen many people make a cardinal mistake with edamame. They just grab it and they eat the shell. Do not eat the shell. Edamame, the pod, the bean is on the inside, okay? I'm gonna open, see, what I normally do with edamame is this though. Let me show you how I roll. All right, so I take this right here and I dip the whole shell in it, right? Just like this. Now, I squeeze and pull. That comes from the outside. I'll show you. You'd be surprised how many people have tried this and said they didn't like it because they ate the shell. Right? That is what we're eating. Look. Okay? Do not eat the shell. The shell has little hairs on it. You don't want to eat that. I've seen people eat it and be like, oh, edamame is gross. And I'm like, you're eating the pod. It's the equivalent green of like snow peas and things of that nature, where most people don't. You can eat the shells in snow peas. Some people do it, but sometimes people will just take the little inside out. Or a peanut shell. Same idea. Legumes, that's they're in the same family. Mm-hmm. I love spicy salmon rolls. It has become my favorite. I don't know if it's because it's covered in spicy mayo, which you could put spicy mayo on virtually anything, and it's still delicious. Let me get some ginger on here. You can see I get a lot of ginger. I usually ask for extra ginger. It's supposed to be used as a palate cleanser. You're supposed to eat it in between, but I just put it on the top. And I don't know where I got that from, but it is what it is. Oh man, hold on. You gotta understand. Shumai. Remember that. You go to a hibachi joint, ask them, do you have shumai? They got it. And get. Unless you don't like shrimp. Get some sort of dumpling. I like the steamed better than sometimes. Depends on my mood. Fried or steamed. Pick your poison. They're both delicious. How's that? I'm not going to steer you wrong. I promise. Come here. You know how many people thought that I didn't use the actual chopsticks when I was eating? So many times. So I'm glad I'm posting these eating videos, because a lot of times when I wasn't, I was just posting pictures of my food and I'd go sit down and chill and eat. Because, you know, that's what people do when they eat, right? You eat at home. But somewhere along the line, this is how I'm here, by the way. I put a poll in my stories on Instagram and said, if this picture, I think it was a sushi post, didn't matter, gets X amount of likes, that means you want to watch a mukbang. I'll do a mukbang. No problem with that. Let's roll. So it ended up getting like, I think I said 5,000 likes, and it ended up getting like 8. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll start doing them twice a week. So I did. Oh, what was that? I didn't even check. It's the assorted ones. I think it was seared tuna, but I didn't check. Oh, that was really good. See, I got there's some sauce on top of these right here. Oh my goodness. I just did that wrong too. I don't want the soaked rice. No, this makes me so happy. Just had a great workout. My home gym downstairs. Ordered the sushi while I was working out. By the time I got out of the shower, it was here. I'm making the best of this whole situation of, you know, not being able to. I think New Jersey now is 25% capacity in restaurants. So I'm not even bothering yet. You know, it's not a big deal for me. I'm a bit of a lone wolf as it is. So it's whatever for me. The first few weeks of quarantine, I was the happiest person ever. I was like, wait, I don't have to go talk to people anymore? Cool. No biggie. But I know a lot of people that kind of like, you know, bother them, which I get. But for people like me, and especially now that I'm segueing into being more of a content creator, whereas before it was more of a hobby, and now I'm turning it more into a at least side gig, possibly full time. But now that I'm posting every day, I guess it has become more of a job aspect. And most content creator types, anybody who, you know, whether you're a streamer, you know, YouTuber, whatever, you tend to spend a lot of time by yourself. You have to have a certain personality. You have to be an introvert, but you also have to be an extrovert. So it's a very strange concept. That double cheese, I'm telling you, go to this place if you live near me and just get the double cheese roll. You can get it with the avocados and stuff if you want to. I ain't doing it. Gotcha darn it. I can't eat this one roll. It's the one I dropped before. I just said gotcha darn it. If y'all only knew, I only talk a certain way on camera. But it has German Shepherd hair on it. I have 2 dogs. If you have dogs, you know. No matter how much I vacuum, no matter how much I brush him, he just keeps shedding. It's so ridiculous. I love my boys. I have 2 dogs, my German Shepherd and my Pit Bull. The Pit Bull is not a shedder. at all. But the shepherd, his hair grows hair. He's got his little bed, his little living area. You know, he likes to, his happy place, as I call it. He tends to, when he finishes his food, he just goes to his little bed and he just goes and lays down and he's just like, but that bed grows hair. I vacuum. I have to take the filter thing. I have to take that off at least 4 or 5 times. Every single time. And I vacuum multiple times a week. Usually daily, if not every other day. At the most. Because if I don't, it's just out of control. And no matter what, he doesn't even come in here. So I don't know how his hair is over here. But it is, because I probably carried it. So many times when I was working, I'd be at work and someone's like, they get this little grin. You know how people are? Because, you know, it's like etiquette for people when you have something on you, they have to get it, right? But everybody gets it off you in the same way. They look at you, they do this. What is this? This is the hook. This is what they're grabbing it with, right? Like an eyelash. And they're like, hold on. You got... And they start doing this because they're like, I'm about to touch you. Chill out. It's just, I'm trying to help you out. Right? Could be on your shoulder, whatever. Hold on, I got... And then they do this, right? They go real slow. And they're like, hold on, it's got a little... And they keep saying, you gotta look, something running. And then they finally get it. And they always have to do this. They have to show it to you. As if to prove that they touched you for a reason. That happens to me so much because someone's like, they hit this little grin and they're like, you have a dog, huh? Yeah. What kind? German Shepherd. I have a husky. Yeah, you got a little... And it's like 17 hairs. I love dogs. I'm a dog person all the way. I love my boys. They're like my children. But he sheds so much, man. And he is what I call, and I say this with the utmost respect. I'm not saying it in a bad way. But he is the happiest accident. I guess people are saying about kids sometimes, right? But not me, I don't have any. I have dogs that I've ever had. The dog actually came from my father, who at the time was dating someone. I shouldn't say dating someone. At the time, I don't know why I said dating someone. He bought a dog. My mother is afraid of German Shepherds. I guess she had something happen with the breed when she was younger. So we couldn't keep it. So I get a text message. Completely true. Get a text message. 8 o'clock at night. It says, Dad. My dad texts me that late. I'm like, immediately like, you know, what's up? What's wrong? Like, you know. Because he's not the type of person that texts me at night unless something's up. So I'm already like, oh man, what is it? Oh, I get Dave with a period. You know, when text message etiquette, somebody sends you a text message with a period, it's serious business. So I'm like, I'm sitting up like, nah, come on, man, give me the news, man. Just tell me now. You know how it is. Next message. I have a dog for you. What? Like, I had Bane at this point. Bane was about 3. Bane now is 6. Got a dog for you. What do you mean you got a dog for me? Yeah, you're gonna love him. What do you mean I'm gonna love him? I don't have room for another. He's big. He's a big boy. Max is an overgrown German Shepherd. He's got huge paws. But anyway, he sends me a picture. At this point, Max is a puppy. And I'm looking, and you can tell how big a dog usually is by their paws and their ears. And this dog was like maybe 50 pounds at this point, and he was like 3 months old. But he had like hands like mine. Like he's like on the floor. And I'm like, oh, we. But he explains to me the story. You know, he got a dog from someone else. Thought he could bring home. But the dog came from a breeder. The other person had a dog from a breeder and couldn't take care of it. And, you know, we're all compassionate in that sense. So he tried. My mom wasn't having it. So now he's stuck with the dog. And he's like, do you want a dog? Like, he's like, if not, I have to take you to the shelter. I couldn't hear that. You know. I know. Double the food budget for the dog. The grooming, the shots. And it's a lot of work. And I know having a puppy is a lot of work and responsibility, so I don't take that lightly. But at the same time, I'm dog dad. You know how it is with your second kid. You're like, you're different with your second kid than your first one. But I said, all right, bring him over. Bring the German Shepherd to my house. Dog looks around, likes, he's happy. I'm like, oh, he's a good boy. I'm talking for a little bit. Him and Bane are getting along. All right, he's gonna be okay. Wrong. As soon as my dad leaves, he closes my front door, goes on his way. The dog looks at the door. The dog looks at me. What's up, little puppy? And then he poops on my carpet. First thing he did. And I said, again, dog dad number 2. Doesn't bother me as much because the first one, when Bane would poop on stuff, I'd be like, ah, come on. By this point, I'm just like, whatever. I look at him. I went, welcome home, man. I did. He drives me nuts. He's got a lot of energy. He's one of those giant dogs that thinks he's a lap dog. So sometimes he'll start like trying to like, lay on you or whatever and I don't know. I just let it go. I'm so like old dad at this point. You know how, and people with kids will tell me this, like you have your first kid. Where is my, okay, I'm losing my mind. Out your first kid, the kid gets a cut or gets a cough, gets sick, falls, you freak out, and you're driving your first kid home from the hospital, you take him home or her, you freak out, you're scared, But second kid, you're so much more relaxed. Second kid runs, bumps his head, you're like, sorry, he'll be fine. I was kid number 2, so I hit my head a lot as a kid. Luckily for me, it didn't end up in me, not getting good grades or things of that nature, but my mom used to tell me that if we would just hear my footsteps when I was able to start running, my terrible twos, she'd be like, I hear boom. And she'd be like, is he okay? And I'd just get up and be like, and on my way. I was a very rambunctious child, as you could probably imagine. I climb stuff, I jump on stuff, I jump off of stuff. I do remember hitting my head on a ceiling fan. And I was afraid of fans for my entire 3-year-old life. Afraid of them. I don't know if other people can remember things from when they're that young, but I can. And I was deathly afraid of ceiling fans. Not really afraid of anything anymore. The only thing that I was afraid of as a child, believe it or not, I need just a tiny bit more of the soy. It's a little bit. I don't need too much. Yeah, that's it. And I'm not even going to use it for this one. I was afraid. I don't talk about this much. Not of heights. Not of scary things. Well, technically, scary things. I was afraid of leprechauns. Like, even the guy in the Lucky Charms box. And the reason for that is, when I was a young boy, there was a horror movie series called Leprechaun. And I didn't think anything of it. My cousins brought it over to my house. They used to come and visit, my mom and her sister. So we're first cousins. We're really close. So they come over, hang out all the time. And they brought it over. And they were like, you want to watch Leprechaun? And I was like, oh, cool. Like the Lucky Charms guys. You're like, oh, she's on it. Whatever, right? No big deal. And they're like, no, the Leprechaun is bad. Now, I'm talking like we're 7 because I think we were 7. I think Leprechaun came out in like 93. Somewhere around there. So, but we had the VHS, so it was like 2 years after it came out. I was like 7, somewhere around there. But they're like, no, Leprechaun is bad. He bites people's ears off, and he wants his gold, and he kills people. And I'm like, that don't sound fun. So we start watching it, and this little dude was demonic, man. 7-year-olds aren't supposed to see this stuff. Which is weird for me. No other horror movie scared me. The first movie that I can remember watching with my parents, it was actually my dad. I don't think my mom was there. It was Child's Play. Chucky, the doll. That's the first horror movie I ever watched. I think we rented it. You know, I wasn't old enough when Chucky came. I think Chucky came out like 1986. So I wasn't old. Like, you know, I wasn't here and cognizant, you know. So I had it on VHS, but I remember watching that movie and, like, I loved it. I thought Chucky was funny. Because Chucky is funny. But the leprechaun scared me. I had nightmares. I was afraid of him. And then they had the nerve to drop a sequel. And I was watching like MTV and the movie preview came on. And I remember he said something like, "I'm back." And I was like, "Ah!" I was scared like a little kid. You know, you're kid and you're scared. And you go sleep in your parents' bed. I did that. I was like 9, bro. But I never watched Leprechaun again until I overcame that fear. And ironically, Leprechaun is one of my favorite horror movie series. I'm mispronouncing that on purpose. Ever. Now I love Leprechaun. I watch it all the time. In fact, I may watch it after this. It's so good. If you're a vegan, mushroom rolls are off the chain. And I did ask. They are vegan. I wanted to do something for the vegans too. There are vegans that do watch the channel, and thank you for watching because I eat a lot of meat. So if you're watching because you enjoy me or you enjoy the content, thank you. Because I don't do a lot of vegan stuff because I'm kind of a bit of a carnivore. And I'm glad that you don't judge me because I eat meat. I know that is a touchy thing with some vegans. I've been accosted by vegans before for eating meat. To each their own. I don't judge anyone about what they do as long as they're healthy and as long as they're happy. And as long as they're not hurting anybody. So, I do appreciate you. Don't think for a second that I don't see. Some of you have said, you know, I don't even eat. I had a steak mukbang. I don't even eat steak. And I'm watching you. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Even if you're not and you're just here because you're enjoying the content, thank you as well. But when I was in college, I overcame my fear of leprechauns. Because at this point, I was the type of person, I don't want to be afraid of anything. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't want something to beat me. That's just the way that I am. Whether it was overcoming the anxiety stuff, which I talked about in other videos. I have a whole video on my channel, which I talk about my long bout with having it. So, I couldn't be afraid of this thing anymore. So, in college, so you're talking late 2000s, like 2009, 2010. In college, I decided that I was going to go on Amazon, and I bought the Pot O' Gore DVD box set of Leprechaun movies, which was the first one all the way through Leprechaun Back to the Hood. I still can't believe they made those movies. They're funny as hell. And I bought it, and I said, you're going to sit down, and you're going to watch these whole movies from 1 all the way through 6. Even the crappy one, which is when he was in space. I don't know why they did that. Don't ever do that again. But I'm a horror movie guy. We can talk about horror movies and stuff. You're interested in that kind of stuff. I could make a whole channel on horror movies. I'm a huge horror movie guy. So, watched the whole box set over and over until I almost became numb to it. And then I started watching it again. And I realized this little shit is funny. He's really funny. It's a funny movie. Is it a good movie? No! The story's dumb. They change it every movie. The first movie was a 4-leaf clover that killed him. The second movie it was iron. It's badly, you know. But I love those kind of movies. I love Freddy Krueger. I love slashers. I love Chucky. I love, Jason not so much. I like the killers. Yeah, it's a terrible weird thing. The slasher type genres where there's a personality to it. I do like Halloween and Friday the 13th, but they're not the most enjoyable because after a while it just becomes the same old stuff. Guy in mask walks around killing people. He never says anything, which I get makes it scarier for a lot of people. But I'm not a scary movie. Like I don't get scared watching scary movies. I like the banter that the like Freddy Krueger made. It was a little over the top towards the end, but I laugh. I know the type of movie people shouldn't laugh at, but in my head, I always remember that it is a movie. I mean, they're really dumb at times. The people. I never got why they always run up the stairs instead of out the front door. They always do that. There's horror movie rules, and I know they talked about it in the movie Scream, but I have my own rules. And this is true. Watch any horror movie. If someone's walking alone, in their house, outside, walking down the street, and a piece of rice. Whatever. If you're walking alone, and you say, you have to say it in this voice, because they all do. This rice, right here. It's in my throat. There it is. Sorry about that. I need some more drink too. But they walk, and they always say the same thing. It's always in the same tone, voice inflection. They're like, hello? You're dead. You're gone. That's it. Have a nice day. Like, they're gone. And then they start saying things like, listen, if you guys are playing around, come out here. It's just sometimes I'm just like, what are you doing? If I'm watching it with anyone, because, I watch them with friends and things, and I always will, if someone says hello, I'm like, he's dead. I do it every time. I'm a bad person to watch movies with. I have what's called latent learning ability. I see things in weird patterns, and it's so hard to explain to people. But I can see patterns and make, like, statistical probabilities that make me guess things that are going to happen. Like, there's a higher percentage, so that's where my guesses, the educated guesses, come from. So a lot of times in the movie, I guess the whole plot line. And then I'm sitting there with whoever. I've been on dates, ex-girlfriends, whatever, and all I have left is edamame. This is depressing. I should have gotten more. I don't know why, but this went down smoother than it even normally does. Well, I told you guys, I ate sushi. It's like nothing. What? Whatever. I'll sit there on my date, and people, they start asking, like, why is he going in there? Women, like, the women I've been with, they're always like, they ask things, and I'm like, just watch the movie. And they're like, why is he doing that? And I'm like, do you really want to know? And after a while, I'll be like, you want to know the whole story? Like, I figured it out. And once they get to know me, they're like, shut up. So bad. But I usually can guess it. Like the plot line, I'll guess the killer in the slasher movies, or like the mysteries and those kind of movies. I'm just good at it. I don't know, but it's the way that I look at things. I see them differently. It's weird. And I used to think I was very weird for it. They made me take like all these IQ tests when I was a kid, and I had to go do these like brain exercises for like 3 or 4 years, where like there's a program, and then I had another program called Peak, which was like in my elementary school, but we had to go to another school, and it was for like gifted and talented kids. It was called the Program for Enriching and Advancing Knowledge. That's what Peak stood for, and I hated it because I just thought it was dumb, and I hated teachers that like I thought too. Like I think I hated teachers. Teachers hated me because I was the type of person that if I didn't agree with it, I'd be like, why would you do it that way? This way's better. It's terrible. And I know some of you are teachers out there, so I apologize in advance. Yeah, school was crazy. I got all the way to my master's in college. I never studied. Not one time did I ever open the book. Ever. I would sit in class and I would pay attention, and if once I took the test, I could see what the teacher was writing on the board in my head, and it was very easy for me to just like spit that information out. So school never really like, I feel like I didn't learn a lot in school. I just like learned how to retain information, and I learned more outside of school with my friends and like how to network and just talking and gaining things from people who experience things through life. Like we met like business owners. I met a guy that owned like 5 nightclubs, and I learned a lot about business just talking to him and picking his brain. You know, I think school is great. I think you should all go to school in some form, whether even if it's your high school diploma or whatever. If you want to go to higher education, all the way up to your doctorates and all that, that's great. But I think you have to place importance also on the activities outside of school, getting to understand it. And if you can, get experience and learn from the people who have already done it. It doesn't mean you have to do what they did, but you can at least get their mindset, how they got to where they were, and how to incorporate the way that you do things. And maybe you'll have some things that they did that they liked, or that you liked, or that they failed at, that you might want to say, okay, that could work, or this would be better, and you do your own way, you know. But it's always good to learn from other people in your whatever profession or what you're looking to do, and kind of take things that you like from them and just put your own personalization on it and go from there. Even when I worked in the fitness industry, that's a lot how I started. Was there were systems that other people had, and you know, whether it was training systems or business models or things, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea, but what if you did that with this? And I don't like that, but I'm gonna do. And that's how I kind of developed my own thing. And even with content, that's kind of what people do. You know, this person does this, and I'm not saying do exactly what they do or things of that nature, but you can say, oh wow, that's a good idea, but what if you did that? What if you did this? You know, and that's why I'm kind of enjoying doing the mukbang thing, because everybody, you know, there's a ton of them out there. But to me, the thing that you can't do, obviously eating different foods is the whole thing, but the one thing that you have, and that's you, and that's me, and that's everybody, is you're yourself. You're you. Be you. Don't, oh, well, this person did this, and that's why they're popular. Don't do that. Be you, whatever. And this is who I am. I talk like this all the time. My work voice. This is more my work voice than my whatever. It's kind of a mix between the two, to be honest. You know, sometimes you'll hear me, and then sometimes but you know, I keep it clean. But you know, that's something that I've always done in my life. Like, you just, you know, whether basketball players do it, football players do it, you know, athletes in general, you know, like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, you know, he saw a lot of moves that Michael Jordan had, and he incorporated, well, Kobe kind of did all of his moves, but you know, you get it. You know, you incorporate certain things and things that you might not like, or like, whatever it is. But that's my take on it. You know what I got to do. Dude, that sushi meal was so on point. It hits the spot every single time. Every single time. Oh, I loved it. But that's gonna be it for today. I wanted to have sushi with y'all. I never eat sushi with you guys. I wanted to do it on camera this time. So if you're digging the content, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You guys have been so overwhelmingly positive. I'm new to the YouTube stuff. I haven't done it for a while. I've been doing regular content for, I think it's been this is week 3, I believe. So this has been great, and you know, you guys continue to support. I'll keep making content, and we'll keep rocking with this thing, man. I don't know where it's going, but I'm having fun doing it, so that's what really matters. But anyway, it's been your boy King Shrats. I love you guys. I know I say it all the time, but I really do mean it. Whether you're positive or negative, criticism, whatever, I love it. It doesn't matter. The hand signs, they made it to YouTube. We're out.